Figure 4 Radio.
Hello everyone, welcome to Figure 4 Radio. It's the Mastermind Olie Spring with Luke-O-Mac.
Hello.
And we're here with Superstar Ashley Dunn.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm very well. I'm very tired, but yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, look at what I was saying. So we're still down here at the Hope Academy training session. How long, right, there's a big question, and this is one that everyone always debates.
Yeah, okay.
How long have you been doing this?
Okay, well, if we're talking about this, we're talking...
so pro wrestling.
Okay, pro wrestling. First match was in January, but I'm going to count it from March because I had February off. So
about a year and a little bit.
No, not even that.
No.
This March.
Oh, this March.
This March.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's like 6 months.
Yeah, we'll say 6 months.
But yeah, so there's a whole lot of backstory for you. Am I right in saying?
Yes, there is.
Backstory.
Yeah, nice pun.
Now we were talking to Hustle Line a few weeks ago. You came up again, and the backyard wrestling was brought up. I don't know. It's just ignorance, I guess. But I always thought backyard it was just a bunch of kids with like either a trampoline or a pile of cardboard boxes to fall on, just dicking around. But from what I gather, I listened to a podcast from Flash Morgan Webster.
Oh yes.
Chatting to a friend of yours, Will Ospreay, and Paul Robinson, and Scott Essex.
Yep.
They talked a lot about backyarding, and I get the feeling there's a shitload more that I don't understand and I could never comprehend. So what's kind of the history of that with you and in general?
Okay, well, I think backyard wrestling really gets a bad reputation from the video games that got released on Xbox.
I'm unaware of these as well.
Okay, well, yeah, there was some video games released back on the Xbox and PlayStation 2, I think it was. And normally, if you say backyard wrestling, as you said, you were just associated with a load of kids just messing about in the garden. When really in the UK and in America, it's a lot bigger than what it is. I mean, especially like in the mid 2000s, majority of the big backyard wrestling federations, they had their own rings, professional rings.
I was shocked at that. I think Will's mum bought him. Parents bought him a ring.
Will's mum. That's how he could have got into it. But I mean, when I started back in 2003, I actually we built a ring base in. There's a lake where I live, and the guys built a ring base made out of tires, mattresses, and pallets and stuff like that.
So you say 2003?
That was 2003 when I first started. Yeah.
Okay, so that's like that's over 10 years of backyarding.
Yes, it was.
So what does backyard? So what is the difference? Obviously, apart from the fact that one's outside and one's inside.
Yeah.
So to kind of educate me, what is the difference in a way between backyarding and
like professional?
I mean, I have no stigma. I don't judge anybody.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I want to hear all about it.
Okay, so I'll probably say backyarding is probably more the guys wrestling in front of the guys. We never really advertised it. We didn't charge anyone or anything like that. It was just the people that would be watching you would be the people that are wrestling. For about maybe 4 or 5 years, we wrestled in a field on the floor, and we rented out a leisure centre in Houghton Regis where we just put down like the judo mats and we wrestled on that. So there was no like protective spring or anything like that. Mind you, there were no ropes either. So I only started actually learning to run ropes in the past year. So that was quite strange doing that. But I actually spent a bit of time, about 6-7 months down at RCWA. They actually had a sub promotion called RCWA Underground, which was technically backyard wrestling, but it was in a hall. It was with the same ring that RCWA used for their live shows. Once again, it was wrestlers wrestling in front of wrestlers, no paid audience, no advertisement. So it went from there, and then I stopped doing that because Will stopped doing it because he stopped running it because, of course, he started taking off last year, like big time, as you guys know.
Yeah.
So he had no time to run it. So that meant there was no more wrestling for me. I found these guys on Facebook, and now I'm here. So
excellent. You touched on Will Ospreay really briefly just then. There was obviously that match that you guys had last year for Hope. How did that feel? Because obviously, it's kind of. It was mentioned in the commentary for you guys that Will's is up and coming big star. Yeah. How did it feel for you being in a ring with him? I'm assuming you've been with him before, but how did that feel?
Yeah, it was incredible because I mean the last time I actually wrestled him was last year for RCW Underground, and it was we did like a Saturday and a Sunday event. So on Saturday was like the big event, and Sunday was more just kind of the chilled out event. And we had a quick match then, but my fitness wasn't brilliant, and my ability wasn't amazing as well. So to have a main event match in for Hope as well, and of course like he was exploding on the scene like big time, is incredible. And like even from maybe like the 7-8 months between the first match and the match we had at Hope. Like, he was so much, I don't want to say so much better to work with, but he had so much more, like, he brought more to what we did last time. He had more kind of ideas, and I absolutely loved it. It was definitely one of the...
I mean, some of the reversals in that match were top-notch. Like, they were amazing. How is that different to what you do on a weekly basis here at Hope? Because you don't see that all of a lot down here.
Yeah, I mean... I don't really know, like, with the other... I think with Will's wrestling experience for many, many years and the amount of wrestling he watches as well, I can't speak for all the other guys here, but I know that there's a few wrestlers here that only watch WWE.
Yeah.
So they haven't watched a lot of the indie scene, and they haven't watched a lot of stuff that's going on in Japan, so they don't really know all about certain moves and other bits and bobs. They all just see what's on WWE, so they'll just want to do that kind of moves.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a few people here that are willing to do some crazy stuff and do different ideas that some people haven't seen before. But they're a good bunch of guys, and they're all pushing themselves forward to do something different. And
So you mentioned the guys obviously watch WWE and stuff like that. Where would you say your influences come from?
Majority of my influences come from Japan. I've been watching New Japan and Noah. I tell you what, I'm actually a massive big Japan fan. I love deathmatch wrestling. Like, really love it. And like CZW, like, I watched a lot of CZW when I was growing up, but I'd never do the deathmatch wrestling style. But I just like the kind of the hard hitting and the stupid moves and landing on the back of your head kind of stuff.
I was going to ask about that as well, because one thing that was mentioned in when you were being talked about on the podcast that I listened to the other day was the bumps that you take and how crazy. And then I think literally just earlier today you posted a little video of some. I mean, the stuff just looks. You shouldn't be walking. You shouldn't have the sensation below your neck.
Yeah, you know.
So I mean, is that something you consciously kind of go out to do, or is it just a whole series of really awkward landings that you just happen to catch on camera, like?
Well, like, there'll be certain moves where I know that's the way I want to take it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of people that keep telling me, stop doing it, stop doing it, stop doing it. I mean, my fiance absolutely hates me doing it.
I'm not surprised.
Like,
I mean, I cringe when I'm watching it, and I've really only talked to you for the past 17 minutes. Like,
we saw you do it earlier when you took a bump from someone earlier, and
I took
just watching it was like, I can't watch you do it. Like, how?
Was that the bitch's whisper?
The
from
bitch's
Danny
whisper,
Mayhem?
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm not going to say... Well, I've been doing it for many, many years, so I should probably be in a worse situation than I really am. But when people ask me, like, why do you do it, how you're not concussed, how you're not paralysed, touch wood, wherever there's wood, there we go. It's because you could say I've been doing it for so long that I know exactly where I need to land and how I need to land. And I mean, it's come to the point now where I was mentioning about my fiance not liking it. I came back at 4:30 from Plymouth, wrestling in Plymouth, and the first thing, she literally rolled over to me and said, "You didn't do any neck bumps in your match today, did you?" I was like, "No, I was absolutely fine." She's like, "Good." Rolled over, went back to sleep. But I'm always safe with everything that I do in the ring. I always make sure I'm incredibly safe with. So.
That's the thing with the backyard and stuff. Do you get taught how to do that, or is it literally just you try it out with your mates and you just keep doing it until you stop hurting?
I mean, that's one of the problems with the label of backyard, or being a backyard wrestler. I mean, I don't think it's so much anymore, but back in definitely in the mid-2000s, if you went to pro training and you said, "Oh, I'm a backyard wrestler," they would basically just kind of look down on you and spit on you, because they always say backyarders are not pro trained. To be honest, there's a lot of guys that I have met that weren't. I wasn't, and my reason for not being pro trained was I went to I believe they were called ACW before they were a different promotion that we shan't name. They had a training centre in Bletchley. I went there when I was probably about 16 or maybe 15. I hated it so much, the way that they treated me. I mean, they didn't know anything about me back at wrestling, but the way that everything went, I told myself, "Oh, this is how it's going to be. I don't want anything to do with it."
Which is fair enough. I couldn't blame you for that.
Yeah, but all the other guys that I wrestled with, they were all pro trained, so they put their knowledge onto me. But
so you kind of learned through them.
Yeah, so it wasn't just a case of no one knew what they were doing, but so I can't tell you how glad I was to find this place, and especially with Paul and Paddy being trainers. Also, Joey Osborne was a trainer for a little while, and these guys are really pushing me a lot.
That's cool, man. So. Now, one thing I think I spoke to you beforehand, I think I have a bit of a backstory with between us. Am I right in saying you used to play guitar in a band?
Oh
called We Are Wolf.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, do you? I've got a few photos here because in a past life I was a music promoter.
Okay.
And do you ever recall playing a fancy dress Halloween gig?
Yes, I do.
While your singer was dressed as Scooby-Doo?
I was actually.
I was going to say, was that you? So I'll put the photos up on the internet, but you're one of them. I think so, but you're in makeup. I'm just trying to think.
That is me there with the brown, orange guitar.
Yeah, behind Rob Humble, I believe.
Rob Humble, yeah,
he had Rob. So crazily, about 6 years ago, I booked you.
Yes.
Me and my friend booked you for a charity show, and I had no idea, obviously.
Wow, it's a small world.
And then I think even following on from that, you started a band called Author.
Author, yeah. It was
we booked you for my friend who I did that charity show with the festival. We started another little kind of like internet blog series, and we booked an opening gig night, and I think we booked Author to play. And for some reason, you guys didn't play. I can't remember what it was.
Okay, the reason would be we split up.
Before the first show.
We did
Fair
two
enough.
shows.
Oh, okay.
We did two shows. I think it was one at Crawford Arms, and I think it might have been. I forgot where the other one was at the Snowbar.
Oh yeah.
After that, the drummer decided that he wanted to join his brother's band, what was fine because they are currently touring around Europe, so I can't knock him for that.
Are they still going?
Yes, yeah, they're very good.
Who's that?
They're called Canvas.
Canvas, haven't? No, I think I have.
They are a kind of ambient core would probably be the best way, but they are very, very good at what they do.
So, obviously I've seen you on stage a few times.
Yep.
Do you take any of that with you into the ring, or did you take the stuff from like wrestling into the music to kind of bring it back full circle?
The wrestling into the music, and then a little bit back out again. I mean, there are times when I kind of think to myself, I wish I was doing music again.
Yeah.
Like especially after a match and I'm feeling really sore and I'm thinking, well, playing a gig's a lot easier. And, but no, I mean, I absolutely love wrestling, and I always loved playing like my guitar and being in a band. And it's such a shame that Author split up because I said we did a lot of photo shoots. We recorded our EP.
I was listening to that the other day. Yeah.
And then like 2 gigs down the line, and then it was called a day. It was just a bit upsetting, but. It's nice that I could, after all the bands splitting up and not wrestling for a while, to come back to wrestling and then be in the position that I'm in.
But I guess you're still performing and entertaining in front of a crowd either way. So
I guess you could always I ended up taking kind of going off the track a little bit. I took a drama in A-level because I actually had really bad A-level results for the first year, so I had to have something to make up. If I wanted to go to uni, I had to do something else. So I thought, tell you what, I'll do drama, but I'll do it for the lighting and sound. Next thing I know, I got roped into doing a load of performances, and then I'm getting something like an A overall for my drama. So I've kind of taken that into the wrestling as well. So
I guess blend of everything, I guess.
Yeah, that is.
So you wrestle for Hope.
Yes.
But there's also a handful. I think I've starting to see your face pop up a lot more, and you mentioned Plymouth as well. That hall looks amazing.
Yes, that was for Pro Wrestling Pride.
Yes.
And
what's it like, kind of traveling around and like performing for different companies? And
it's incredible. I mean, I love driving as it is, and I love traveling. I know there's some people that don't really like to travel further than Northampton. But I mean, I love going to different places, meeting new people, and I also like going back to places where you haven't seen people on a weekly basis, but you're still friends with them. And just branching out to new audiences as well. Because I mean, it's always good to get a booking, but I feel it's more important to maintain the booking and keep going back to the same places, because evidently you've made a good impression, and then the fans recognise you, and so yeah, it's incredible. Cool. And the fact that it's kind of this kind of a snowball has just grown
grown and grown.
Quick.
Do you think 2003 Ashley Dunn in the backyards would have believed you if you'd have told him that this is where you'd be at 2016?
Probably not. No. Probably not at all. Like I probably would have just thought I'll just be messing around with my mates for a few years and that'll be it. I mean, there's always a part of me that thinks, well, maybe I should have gone on to the indie scene a lot sooner. But at the same time, who knows where I would have ended? I might have been somewhere else, and I wouldn't be with the company that I'm with now, and also with the guys that I'm with who are so supportive. So it could have been completely different.
Awesome, man. Where can we find you on the internet?
Right, I have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
I believe that is TS Ashley Dunn. If not, it'll be the Superstar Ashley Dunn. I've got Twitter, what I believe is TS Ashley Dunn. Instagram, what is the Superstar Ashley Dunn. I think that's all I've got at the moment.
And I think like a lot of Hope Wrestlers, you've got your own T-shirt.
I do,
designed.
yes.
Can we get those online anywhere?
Yes, you can.
Where can we find
I
those?
believe it is tsashleydunn.bigcartel.com.
There
But
you
you
go.
can go onto my Facebook page, and I've got a link on there that you can go across and get
Awesome
some.
stuff, man. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
So that's all we've got time for this week, folks. Massive thanks to Ashley Dunn for joining us. Without a doubt, one of the guys to watch out for. He's got a very bright future ahead of him. So from the Mastermind Olie Spring and Luke-O-Mac, we're on Facebook at Figure 4 Radio, Twitter, we are on Instagram at Figure 4 Radio. If you're not already listening to us on iTunes, we're over there. We're on SoundCloud, we're on Podomatic, we're on Stitcher, we're even on the TuneIn Radio app. And of course, head over to our website. It's figure4radio.weebly.com. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be back next week on Figure 4 Radio.
Figure 4 Radio.